show my love for you.
Welcome to Marriage Mondays, where we talk about all things marriage and, of course, most importantly, family. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in and listening. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you. This is Marriage Mondays. Hi guys, welcome back to Marriage Mondays. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to argue, but the right way. Because a lot of people need to know how to communicate with their partners. And like those faces. And as you can see, it's Christmas. It's Christmassy. My favorite holidays. That's how you see the red and the festivities of it all. Okay, period. Hey. Hi, babe.
What up?
Do you have anything that you want to say about how to argue properly or the right way?
So, I guess what does that mean to you, arguing in the right way?
Well, because when you're in a relationship, I mean, disagreements are going to happen. And I think it's just important to, I guess, give healthy tips and things that we've done to help people on how to communicate with their partner the right way. For me, I feel like the right way to communicate, first of all, you have to know your partner and how they communicate. In the beginning with us, I felt like I was communicating with you and I wasn't, because that's not how you took the communication. Because I feel like for me, where I'm at now, I don't ever want to raise my voice at you or cuss at you. I don't want to cuss or raise my voice at you. And I just feel like that's probably just one of the ways, the healthy ways to communicate, is to obviously not to raise your voice. But yeah, it's hard. It takes time. It's not something that's going to happen in a day, especially if you don't know how to communicate properly. But if you would say, what will probably be your best advice for having a disagreement with your partner?
I would say, the first thing is, number one, listen before you speak. And then
Yeah.
two, just, I would say don't speak. When you do speak, don't speak angrily. Try to be as calm as possible, even if that means, not responding at a given time. I know that's something that, we even argue about within the argument, is me not responding because I don't want to respond if I know my response is going to be
Combative.
mean, if
yeah.
you will, like, for lack of a better word. Like, if I know I'm going to say something out of pocket, I'm just not going to say nothing at all.
Right.
At the moment, and then maybe later, after I done compose myself, kind of my thoughts together. And sometimes that can be a little irritating, I know, because here you are thinking, okay, well, the conversation is done, it's over with, it's, put it on the table or whatever. Here it comes back again. So,
And that's such a good tip. Don't what is the saying that they say? Don't listen to respond. And that's kind of how I am, though. Not gonna lie, because I feel like in a debate there's so many things that is said all at once, and I'm trying to respond to the first thing you had said, so I'm not even listening to the rest of what you're saying because I'm too busy on, okay, this is what I'm gonna say about that first thing that he said instead of listening to the entire statement. Sometimes your answer or your rebuttal is irrelevant because they already established that or already answered what you were looking at, but you was too busy trying to be combative and let them demons take over you that you wouldn't even listen to what the person is saying in the first place because you're trying to argue. But yeah, I think the most important thing is to know your partner and know your spouse and know how can they listen to you and what tools that you can use to communicate with them properly. You just have to know each other, and it might take some time. Like, we've been together for a long time, and it takes time. Like, you're not gonna know someone and everything about them in 1 year, especially if y'all ain't went through nothing, been through nothing. Like, you don't know how they are in the winter, summer, spring, fall. You need to know how they are and all of that and how they communicate. But I think the biggest tip will be probably, obviously, therapy. And what else would you say?
So, and I think one other thing to always remember about, when dealing with different personalities and even within a relationship is that attitudes or moods or whatever you want to call them are fluid. So you I understand that the way I react this time might not be the same way I react the next time, and vice versa. Same situation with the next person. You may not react the same way that you did this time. So those the conflict is always like a fluid situation. It's never consistent because it does depend on the mindset and the mind frame that you're in at that time. So, to your point, as far as self awareness and, you know, making sure your own mental health is in a good spot. You're not arguing to win. You're arguing to get an agreement.
Right.
That's different between a debate. Because you're debating something with somebody, like whatever, you on a debate team or even in law or whatever.
I feel like I would have been great on the debate team.
If you are a lawyer, you're debating with somebody to win something. You're trying to, get somebody off of something or win, but you're not really necessarily trying to reach an agreement. With arguing with a partner, you should be trying to reach some type of agreement. Now, if that agreement happens to be more on somebody's side, then that may happen. But 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to meet somewhere in the middle, which is, I would say, going to the next point. When going into a disagreement, quote unquote argument, always be prepared to compromise. That's a big thing.
The big C word that no one wants to do.
Yeah, you have to be willing to compromise gotta give a little bit, take a little bit.
And sometimes you have to take a L too. Like I've took some L's. Like I've wanted to rebuttal and say something back, and I was like, you know what? Let me weigh the pros and cons right now. If I say that, what is the good thing about it and what is the bad thing about it? Like, let me just go ahead and just chill out and let me not say nothing. Let me go ahead and take the L so that the argument can go away. I know a lot of people say, oh, I argue and I want to say the most hurtful things and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. I'm like, oh, okay, y'all like toxicity. Y'all like that toxic love. These are step away from this video. Click off. Because this ain't about toxicity over here, okay? This is about real healthy relationships and communicating properly. Not saying, oh, I wonder what I could say to hurt them or push their buttons. Like, that is crazy. Actually. And you probably don't like them. And y'all probably are just there for the sex.
Yeah, I mean, and
That's wild.
It's like, I think sometimes we put too much stock in words and don't get me, words are important. Words are very important. And it's tough, don't get me wrong, but you try not to take things as personal when you are disagreeing with somebody and y'all going back and forth and that person's trying to get you to see it their way and vice versa. I mean, you want to try to take it again as plain as possible. You don't want to try and put all the feelings into it, and because I think when you do that, that opens up a door for you to then start talking about other stuff, and it ain't got nothing to do with this particular argument, this particular topic. Y'all could be talking about arguing about what you gonna eat, and the person don't know what they want to eat, and nobody don't know what they want to eat.
We gotta figure out what to eat every day. It's
And
draining.
then out of nowhere, you start arguing about, I don't know, just something random. I don't know, with TV or something like why we can't ever figure out what to watch on TV. Or just something country, and you be like, bro, like why are we fussing about something that has nothing to do with the current situation? You wasting all this time because I think more than likely what has happened is somebody has hit a nerve and now everything is taken personal. Now it's like, okay, now I feel like you attacking me. Now I feel like you just attacking everything about me, or you just trying to be extra. And all I want to do is just figure out what we was gonna eat. That's it. It wasn't nothing even that deep. And now you done went down the rabbit hole. They done went down the rabbit hole, and now it's just big miscommunication and argument and conflict. And it didn't even have to be like that. It was just, it's 8 o'clock at night. We ain't ate since 1 o'clock. What we gonna eat? Like that. That's it. Like, what we gonna eat? And then you would say Wingstop, and like, well, we just had wings 2 days ago. I don't want wings no more. And then now you going back and forth, and then it's just
This needs to be titled "How to Choose Your Food Properly and Your Dinner Properly." Maybe we'll save a whole lot of relationships with that one. Because one person want one thing, the other person don't know. It's like, I don't know. You got to figure it out every day. Like, oh my God, give me a break. But I really want to know the origin of like arguments. Like, I wonder, is that truly healthy to have arguments and debates, and where did that stem from? And I'm wondering, it's like, is that from the devil, or is it really like healthy? What do you think?
When it's a healthy conversation, when it's when it's a lesson to be learned. I guess I've learned things in arguments. What words to say, what um what you can and can't take, or what is a nerve point, because and sometimes you know people intentionally hit those
I was
nerve
gonna say
points.
people want to know that nerve point.
But sometimes you also know these like you just said. Sometimes you just have to take an L, and even if you hit the nerve point, um, hitting the nerve point may win the battle, but you're probably gonna lose the war, because it's like, was that even necessary, to go that far? So if you show vulnerability and weakness to a person and they use said vulnerability against you, then that's toxicity, simply put. I
So you
mean,
should tell everyone everything.
I wouldn't say you say everyone. You
Well,
should tell
tell
the
your
people. Yeah, you
partner.
should. Yeah, you definitely should tell your partner. You should tell people who claim that they love you, because they shouldn't be. They shouldn't want to use that against you. Even if it is an argument, they shouldn't want to use your vulnerabilities against you just to get a point across. That's pretty evil, actually. So yeah, that's terrible. No, that's toxic, and no. So um, yeah, I think you should be as open as possible. Because again, in the next argument, now, because there will be another disagreement, there will be another argument. But you basically just kind of, you will know, okay, I don't need to go that far. I don't need to say that. I don't need to bring this up.
Right.
I don't need to, some people, they have this thing about, the past. Don't bring up the past. Don't bring up, this and that. And I mean, I'm kind of like that. If the situation's dead and gone, it's dead and gone. Now, you get to kind of pick and choose what is the past. Because some people be like, yesterday was the past. It's like, I mean, it was, but that's still kind of fresh. Like, and it's like, then you can say, I mean, maybe a year ago was the past, and yeah, it's
What is the timeline for the past?
so that's an important. The past for me is anything that we have put to rest. It's been forgiven. It's supposedly over and done with, and then it comes back up somehow. So it's like, we had a conversation about it. We did whatever.
But what if it's reoccurring though? So that's kind of get a little sticky, because if you just did it like 2 weeks ago and then you did it again, I kind of have to bring that up for reference.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So like, you like, at that point, if you did the exact same thing again.
Yeah, I feel like I have to go back a few weeks. Well, if you did something just a month ago, then I feel like I have to bring it up, even though we talked it out, forgave each other. Still kind of feel like I gotta bring that up. So I think it just depends.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely situational though. That's the main thing. I don't think it's no real answer.
Yeah, it's probably not really a time.
I don't think that you can just say, okay, well, a year is the cutoff, for 6 months is the cutoff, for 2 years, hell, even 5 years. I don't know, like, because it just depends too. Like, if one, for one thing, if it truly was um forgiven and everything is healed and all of that. But yeah, I mean,
Don't let your anger get the best of you. Definitely for me and maybe a few other people out there, definitely can benefit from taking anger management classes, because in there you just learn how to control your anger and not blurt out things and think before you speak, which we've been taught since we were little kids. Think before you speak, think before you act as well. Slow to get angry and quick to listen is really real. Then I think you probably can have healthier relationships. My head right now is don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. If you take it personal, that's when it goes left, and that's when you get angry and riled up, and that's when you're like, okay, what did they tell me a few years ago? What pressed their button? Then you bring it up. If you're really having a bad day, or if you really just want to punch a wall or cuss someone out, take some time apart and let them know, like, hey, I need some time. Like, we came up with a thing of I need 30 minutes. And once you draw them boundaries, make them boundaries. Once I say I need 30 minutes, he know, all right, he backs away and he gets on about his day. And he don't bother me for 30 minutes. Like, don't be afraid to talk and be healthy and say and set those boundaries and say, okay, these are our safe words, or these when I say this, that means absolutely not. Stop talking. This is it. This is where I draw the line. So I think setting those and communicating those, not when you're arguing and heated and mad, when y'all kind of sitting, chilling at dinner, having a drink or something, that's when you say, hey, like, what are your boundaries, or what are your safe words, or what do you think helps you communicate healthy in the relationship? I think if you set those expectations up in the beginning and actually use them and implement them, it can really be beneficial.
so to that point, I just think sometimes it's just that the mindset situation. I need, maybe I need some space, maybe I need some time, because my mindset, my mood, my spirit at that time may not just be to have that conversation. Whatever that conversation or that argument is, it's just not there. I'm just not there at the moment. I may get there soon, very soon, but right now, in this very moment, I'm just not there. Maybe I had a bad day at work. Maybe something just happened. Maybe,
For sure.
Whatever. It's just, or maybe you're just having a bad day. Maybe
For
it's
sure.
you're just not there that day. And again, you just have to be able to communicate that healthily, and say,
Is that a word?
just as healthy as possible. And say like that. You try to make that communication as healthy as possible. I'm too sad right now to talk. I need to gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
I need, like, tell them. I mean, and like you said, that's setting the boundary for yourself and for them.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. If somebody can't respect boundaries, that's toxic. That's a bit.
I know you lying. Is that because I... Sorry about that, y'all. The freaking fire alarm went off. And I think it's because of my candles. But it can't be, because that's never happened.
It smells kind of smoky in here.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Whoopsie. But yeah, I think overall, in conclusion, get your help, get the anger management, set those boundaries, safe words. Safe words don't always have to be sexual all the time. and be slow to get angry and quick to listen, for sure. And I think y'all will have a healthier communicative relationship. That is another episode of Marriage Mondays. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to comment down below. Ask us questions or anything. I kind of want to start a advice set. He doesn't want to. So maybe I'll just give some advice then, because I kind of want to start that on like Instagram, TikTok. Follow her on TikTok. I'm going to put it right here. And it's linked down below too as well. So yeah, and y'all can message and ask advice. And we'll answer it on the podcast. So yeah, we will see you guys next time. Bye.